Yes, welcome. Good day, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Robinson, and this lesson is part of the Abuja R User Group Machine Learning course. So, today we're going to talk about reporting and documentation using the R Markdown. R Markdown is a package in R Studio. It's a package in R, and you can use it in R Studio, which helps you to form a document like this. This is an HTML document and it was made using R Markdown. So in case of you want to make a report, you can use you can form a PDF, you can form a Word document, but using R Markdown. So it's one of the ways you can serve out information. Your information you found from your data science project, and you can use it to report. So let us dive right into document the lesson. So let's talk about this is like the easiest way the easiest way to write a good data science report is to share results from a data science project. Is mixing R code and text in your R document. So this is the point. Like if you want to share a data science project, again with maybe you want to share it with your fellow data scientists. Maybe you really want to show code. Now, for example, here, you don't know how I wrote, like you're going to see, like throughout this whole document, I don't have any kind of code, but I can display this code to you. So if you can go back now, I can show you the kind of the code I used to write all this. So any kind of code I use to manipulate any data set, I can show it to you or remove it. So the best way in order to make your product or your project reproducible is normally to show code so that people can easily come back and who can reproduce the same results as you do. And that's the main focus about normally reporting or like documentation. That you can check on Wikipedia the definition of reproducible research. Reproducible research refers to the idea that an ultimate product of academic research is the paper along with the laboratory notebooks and full computational environment used to produce the results in the paper, such as the code data or data etc. that can be used to reproduce the results and create new work based on the research. So what I'm going to mean is like, in case you have conducted a new study using data science or something like that, people are going to question your research. And if you really want to reproduce the same, if they would love to reproduce the same results like you did. So you have to provide them with code. And if that code doesn't really rhyme with the results they find, that means your research is wrong or kind of biased. So it's very good to know how to document your projects instead of just writing it in a script or something like that, which can go along with some explanation like this page. So easy to so now one of the great things about the R Markdown or dynamic documents, there first of all you can produce in HTML, like I said, like this website here. Like here you can see that this is HTML, and then or you can produce a PDF or Word, like I already explained. But they need to have some supportive information or libraries and that you need, or some kind of software you need, like to produce a PDF you need LaTeX. Some people call it LaTeX or LaTeX. These are for information. This is information depending on the operating system. Then Word, you need MS Word. So then the other dynamic documents that can be produced. These are below, depending if you're really familiar with them, and even if that's what you really want to produce, ODT, then RTF, and then Markdown document. The Markdown, remember this is called R Markdown, not Markdown. And Markdown is more of a uniform thing, and R Markdown is modified to be used in R. So that's just the big difference. So I'm going to take you to R Studio and show you how you can easily start up to make an R document and the workflow of everything, showing you how to open everything, is how it is done. So let me take you to R Studio right now. So here in R Studio, this is your R Studio. This is just a fresh new R Studio, nothing. So let me go over this so that it's really fresh, but you get the point. So let me say that I want to create a new Word document, or like R Markdown. So the first thing you do, you come to File. You can come to File, and then you say New File, and then after that you look for R Markdown. When you look for R Markdown, it's going to, you can leave it to Document. These other ones really come in after you really. There's called what an output called Shiny. You can do a presentation. I'll show you that later, and also you can use for a template. So this one here, it's the title of your research you are doing. Maybe let me say Abuja members analysis. Let me just call it Abuja analysis. So Abuja analysis, that's the title, and then I'm the author. So you can change the author or anything like that. So after that, you're going to say that I want HTML, I don't want a PDF. Okay, then I'm going to say okay. So when I say that, then after that I can leave this the way it is, and then you see it brings away the date, and then you write a bunch of code. Now this is like the body. So this is more of just a starter. This is more of a starter template they provide you in R Markdown, where you can start if you're really new to it, and you can really follow. So after you've formed and written your code in the body, this is the body. So and you have done, you can save. So when you save, it's going to be saved in the project the directory. So here you're going to say, you can call it any, as long as you can, any name you want, as long as it rhymes with what exactly is there. Let's call it example. Let me call it example 1. So I'll call it example 1. I'm going to save it. So this is going to be example 1.r markdown. So if I have it fully done, I can come, and there's another package which is called neat in R, but even when you're using R Studio, you don't need to explicitly import these packages. So this neat button will automatically import that neat function. So when I say neat is more like, let me produce the final output. So I'll process this whole document and process that for the whole output. So let me first show you the output, and then I'll show you that. So here you have to need to HTML. So I want you to look at this below here. It shows you the process going through here in the console. So it shows you the process going through in the console here in R Markdown here. So if you look at the environments here, that must look for. If you look at here, there's what they call the HTML, that is the final output here. It has been finished, it is done, and then also it's been here. Then after that, we have the R Markdown document. Still, this is the document here. So we want to view this, isn't it? So this one automatically, the final output automatically is produced. And now let's view it. Let me show you that on the screen. So this is the document. This is the document. This is the final document. This is the final document they have produced. So this is the whole analysis. As you can see, now this is just a simple template that is used to for a starting point to show you how you can easily give out your information to the rest of the individuals. So this is the document, the final document you really want to produce. So let us go back to our studio. Yeah. So let me close this. So basically, most of the modifications you do about the document, you do them here. This represents our document, the R code, and then this represents the text. We are going to look more into that, and we see how we modify each and every line here. So let me go back to our original presentation HTML document where we started from. Okay. So this is like the workflow we have been seeing, that we write a document editing template, then after that we need it, we create a report, then after that we preview, then after that I'm going to show you the publication. When we go back to the other side, that's the end. You can easily publish it to our pubs. Our pubs, you have to create an account. So you can examine the examination of there. I showed you when it was compiling, like it was meeting below. That was the R Markdown part. This is the examiner build log, and then also the output file. The build log can help you in case there's a bug and it has failed to meet to the end. Then that means you can easily find it from the build log. Then use the output file. This is when you would want to serve it out or finally done. So now so now here we're going to deal with, we're going to see different, following is showing different cases of using R Markdowns. So if you can see now, remember now I want to do analysis on what there's what they call, there's a data set called cars data set, and if I want to display it in my report, I can use the head cars. So the head cars will just represent only the six only the six rows, the first 6 rows. And if you can see this is how I display it. So we shall go back and I show you that in the R Markdown. We're going to go through this. I just wanted you to first look at the output, and then when we modify it in the other side, you'll see how I've done this. So this is where I've displayed head, but again, we can change, and when we put an argument called comment, and then it can remove these hashes, which not, depending if you want to remove them, but on my side, they don't look nice. So we can change the argument and we remove that. And then here, maybe we don't want to display the code. For example, here I can easily press code that I want to see these head cars and what, but here tab only. So you don't have the option of head and what. So remember that you can produce even the R Markdown without these code show or hide patterns. So if I want to produce a complete document for non-data scientists, but they just want results, I can always remove and don't show them code. So let us go back in. Let us go back in the R Studio, so that I show you how we manipulate everything and illustrate with you everything by coding. So So there's what they call the knit. So yeah, so you can see this. So there's what they call the knit globe options. So I want to show you something. I'm going to be knitting and you'll be seeing the output. So the first of all, if you want to write a heading, if you have done some, this is more of Markdown. Like these are some functionalities that even our original Markdown. So this, if you want to write a bigger heading, this is the biggest heading you want to start with. So you're going to see this output later. This is now, instead of writing R Markdown, okay, actually you can just write hash, then after that introduction. So that's introduction, and then it's good you space this heading from this introduction. Then after that, let me just write, this is the beginning. Let me remove all of this. Let me remove all of this so that we keep on the same page. Let me get this. Let's try and show you a very fast illustration. So this, now I want to just show this, that this is the beginning. Now this is just text, but again, so I want to show you that the difference, this text, now again, if I want to make it bold, I can put this in 2 double hashes. Then if I want to make italics, I put in single hashes. Then, so this is, you will see the difference with this, but this is more bold, and then this is italics. Then, in case I want to put a URL, let me say google.com. Let me say www.google.com. So let's just try to knit this. I just want to show you something. Like, let's just go step by step so that you understand how it's doing everything. Yeah, what I was thinking about, I was like thinking I would just show you how I made the other page so that you can easily follow along. So, but so let me show you this in the other part. So I'm going to knit, then I'm going to show you the other side. Let me change screen, and then after that come this side and then share. So if you can see this, this is the user group, and then we have introduction, the beginning, and then also if you see this is bold, and this is what, the beginning italics, and then okay, this one I'm just going to have to modify and put in the correct whatever URL. But again, you've seen the difference there. So most times you do everything the other side and then you put it this side. So let me close this, share back our studio. So I'm going to show you most of the things you want to overcode, but I've showed you where let me show you where. So I wanted to show you that In case I want to write Google, so I want to say that this is, I want to say that Google, this is Google. And after that, I want to say this one will say the outside. This is www.google.com. So then I want to put in some code. So I'm going to say, so if you want to have some code, you can press Ctrl Alt I, Ctrl Alt. I have first my shortcut. Is it? I've forgotten. I've forgotten my the shortcut for bringing up. But okay, you can. I can do that. Then this. So this is a code chunk. So if you want to put in that code chunk, if you want to bring in that code chunk, now this code chunk can help you to present R information, and now the results will be displayed in the document. So for example, here we want to again display head empty cars. This is what I was trying to tell you, empty cars. So we write most of the code here, and then it will be presented in your R Markdown. Most times, if you really want to confirm before you do everything, you can always print it here, and it will be displayed the other side. So depending on what exactly you want, but this is, you can do that there. And then most times, if you want to write within a document, this is the beginning. But again, I want to say the beginning and write some R code. For example, let me show you. Let me just remove this to keep this simple. I'm just illustrating everything so that I go through the document very fast, so that when everyone is understanding. So I want to show you the difference between this. There's R, then after that 2 times 2 times 2. Then after that, I have, this is the beginning. Let me call the beginning of output, just output. Just output, meaning that it's going to compile. Then after that, this is just output, just code. So in case you just want to write and give people just R code, let me say 2 times 2, but in a code format. You want it to be in a code font, so you can do that. Yeah, so let me compile this. Let me share my screen. So you can get this. So if you can see, are you seeing that R4 was printed out as code, and then also this we're having 2 times 2, but it's still just code. The difference was the other one we put an R after the slanting. That one is like the slanting comma. That's what I can call it. I've forgotten the exact name there. I suppose that comma that is slanting somehow. Yeah, I mean, not the slanting comma, it's the hyphen or the quotes, like the single slanted quotes. Yes. So then here you can press Google, and also most times that's why I said that I put in the wrong. I think I should put in HTTP something. But again, now you've seen exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's go back, and then you've seen the code. So let me share my. Now we're going to go back to this document like original presentation. So again, I've showed you most of the things. I've showed you how to write the code. When you write empty cars, you have to put triple slanting quotations, single quotations. Then after that, put R in between, and then after that, you what? I'm going to show you. Let me. I was just saying when I should go back the other side. So I'm going to go through a little bit here. Again, trying to take you back to the other side more because presenting about our or teaching our markdown is not easy to just show you an output and not show you an illustration. So I'll be going back and forth. So again, like I've showed you this and the code and how to do that. Now I'm going to show you the kind of modification of how we can do this and where you should put such an arguments. And then here I've showed you how to write the code chunk and also this false, we shall see it later. Yeah, actually, I think it's time to go to the other side. But you have seen the headings that his headings change depending on the number of hashes you put at the front. You saw the other first heading, the introduction I made. I put only one hash, but these ones change depending on how many you put. So the more you put, the higher the number of those hashes. Then bold, you've seen them when you're putting italic, double hashes and you put the words in between. Then in italics, you've seen them, single hashes. Then embedding code into that, you've seen that how to do this code. You just put single slanting quotations. Then after that, this one I've showed you how to compile the code. We use the SR and this code. You put the code there. They have showed you that already. Then, so we're going to go back and we look at global options mainly, so that we keep up with that. And also I've shown you how to put in links. I've told you put in the link, the right link. I just put in the wrong link, and then after that, I think I should put in HTTP. Then that those other things, the double quotes and double full column and the slanting hashes, and that's what I think I should put in more, like a correct link. Then after that, I'll show you also plotting and also making these interactive plots. So if you can see, this is beautiful, right? This is how we make beautiful plots. So I'm going to go to my original document I'm using to bring out this so that I show you what they call the globe options. Yes, okay. Now let's go back to R Studio. So this is R Studio now. Now in R Studio, you can look at the slides here. So if you can see, this is how I made the other document. This is the document I made using the PowerPoint. Then using the presentation I'm using to present. So if you can see, there is what they call the global options. Let me put this below so that I just keep the vision clear for you guys. So if you can see this, what am I trying to mean? These are called global options, meaning that each chunk of code that I write down, each chunk of code I write down should have these elements. And which elements are these? First of all, I want it to echo true. Echo true means that I want it to be able to send the code. Now, what it means that I want to present my words or the outputs with the code. If I don't want to put the code, and maybe I'm taking it to my boss and who's not a data scientist, so if the code is not useful, I can just write what false, and then after that I do that. So, but if it's not that, just leave it to true. Then you catch. Catch helps you in case you have a very long document and you have so many plots. So you can catch those plots, like maybe the data is not changing, so it's the same output. It can take you time for you to compile. it works as the cache memory in the browser. So it catches those plots, and instead of compiling them or plotting those plots all the time, this time around they just extracted from the memory and then they are displayed. So you want to you so you so they compile very fast. Okay, like your document needs very fast. It's called knitting. It needs very fast. So so here, this is where the illustration I'm showing you now. This is more of, now this is my first code chunk. Now this is where I'm importing the libraries. If you see this, I'm importing the libraries. Now there's what they call naming your code chunk. This is a code chunk, and this is, I'm naming this code chunk loading libraries. So if you write this R, this R shows that it's R code being written here. If you say R, then after that, the next sentence, without putting a comma, the next sentence is the name of that code chunk. So this R chunk is called loading R libraries. When we are knitting this, you will see the output of this, and you see how we name the code chunks, how they help us. They help you to, in order, when you are tracking down a bug, you know which exactly code chunk it is, if you have named every code chunk. Then here, most times libraries pass on warnings, but we don't want to display that in our final document. And also there's other messages. That's why we use these other attributes. Remember, again, the echo here can be what? This echo here is a global, so it's true. But however, I can override this echo true library. I just get that and put it here. Now, what if I don't want to display this, but other code chunks, I want to display the code. Now, if I don't want to display this code, I can just remove this and call it false. So this false can help me to, sorry about that. So this false can help me to override the echo, but specifically for only this code chunk. So we shall see that in action, that I will not be able to see this, but I'll be able to see the other code. Then this is more of the introduction. This is the heading, but this time it's going to be smaller than the other one. This is double hashes, then bold. Then after that, this is just text. And then this is putting in a link, a correct link. It will work. Then after that, this is just more of that again. Then after that, we are having reproducible research. Then this is again the link. And then after that, I am just, so again, this is what I want to show you here is the list. Now, if I want to make a list, like a bulleted list, so I can put this, it's a minus on the keyboard, it's a minus. You can, that's a minus. And then after that, you have to space it with other point so that you make a bulleted list. You're going to see the bulleted list. So this one will form a bulleted list for you in your final document. Then again, bulleted list. Then this is a numbered list. If you want a numbered list, this will give you a numbered list with a figure, dot, point, then a space. This will give you a bulleted list. I made this document trying to think about how I can use everything and extract all then everything that you can do with R Markdown. Then here again, this is code. I showed you this. Now remember that most of the things here are catered for in the global options. But again, here, remember I said if you want to remove the other hashes, you can use the comment. Now this is where you pass on the comment. But for me, I would prefer, if you have such, for me, all the tables, I don't want them with all the hashes. So I'll just put it above here, in here, so that I don't keep on, for every tab I want to display to people, I put in, I want to remove those hashes at the front, on the left end, if I don't want them completely, instead of putting in each and every code chunk, I can just put them it here above. But I left it inside here for just illustration. So this is why I put this one without hash signs at the right on the okay, it's supposed to be on the left. The left. It's on the left. Left hand side. So then name the code chunks. This is naming the code chunks and also echo. So if you can, I talked about naming the code chunks. Again, also I've talked about echo. Echo enables you, enables you to display. Echo enables you to display the the code. But if you don't want the code, then the heading is out. I think I've talked most of the things here, comment and everything. And after that, deleted this, then catch. I've told you of charge. I've told you the memory results. If you want to hide results, in case you want to hide the results and you want to show the code, but you don't want to show the results. For I don't know the reason why would you want to hide the results, but you just want to show code. Maybe just tell people to compile and they check it out, or maybe it's taking a lot of time. Maybe I don't know, but if you don't want to display the results, you do that. Then maybe this is to hide both the code and the text to evaluate that. So then this is the heading showing you how the headings blend, like the decrease. Then embedding code, I've already showed you this, and then I've already showed you this, how to you put the R. I've showed you this. Then these are the global options. This is the global catch options. I've talked about it. You can determine the figure sizes you want already in the global options. And then also the links. I've talked about the links. And also you can just plotting. You just write normal ggplot in order to display that. And if you can see this, it is if you can see this, it is just normally ggplot and you plot it. So this is then after this is I'm showing you how I can make interactive plots within a Word document. So the last thing I want to show you now is just going to compile this because these are slides and then I have the PowerPoint. I want what they call web document. So I want this. So what I wanted to show you here, that using the same R Markdown, I was able to use the same body to form slides and also to form a separate Word document. What I'm trying to mean by slides, the difference, where does the difference come from? This is, look at this output, is IO slides presentation, and also this one, it's called, the output is called HTML document. So when I compile this, let me compile it here. Let me compile it. So let me share my screen. So this is the compiled document, like the original document we had actually. So showing you that it's different. If you can see here, this is in R, it's not in the browser, so it has just compiled. So this is the same one document, but again, let me share again my R Studio. Then again, I'm showing you that I'm going to compile the slide. Now it's going to bring up a PowerPoint. This PowerPoint, I just made it so that I show you that how powerful R Markdown can be. That I formed a Word document, web document, and also I also formed a presentation. So you can present PowerPoints. You can do PowerPoints with R. So again, this is fixing the bugs. This is the build log. If you can see where, I want to first show you, this is the build log. I want to show you where the names of the code chunks normally help you. If you can see processes, Plotly, Load libraries options. So if you see loading libraries, if you can see this is the label or the name of that code chunk. So that's how everything works. So let me show you the PowerPoint. Okay. And oh, I closed it. Sorry. Let me open that again. So, okay, let me share my screen now. Yeah, so this is the PowerPoint. Let me take you to the first page. So it's beautiful. So I would just present the whole of this lesson using this PowerPoint. If you can see this, it's just a very good PowerPoint. Like you can easily present your work or output using a PowerPoint. However much I didn't want to use this PowerPoint just because of I would go in and out of the document, and the PowerPoint was not a good way to represent how you could use a R Markdown. On my side, you could use it easily on your side. But you can see that at the end, even I can, if I'm presenting to my bosses or anything, I can talk about how we are performing interactively. This is Plotly in action. And then after that, even I have interactive maps. This is the Saturday meetup point. So this is a leaflet package, but again, you see this is the same PowerPoint, but even it's interactive. So that's what I had for you today. I want to thank you for being keeping up with me up to the end. I hope you have learned a lot. So thank you. I'll end the meeting now.